Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I have a review here to continue and finalize my reviews for the When a Stranger Calls series of movies. Now, first and foremost, this is for the third film, the 2006 remake of the original 1979 film. There's a lot of interesting things I want to talk about with this review. First and foremost, I saw this in theaters when it came out with my mom. And it's one of those movies like Alien vs. Predator that will always have this place in my heart because I love it. I have a lot of good memories with it, and I have a lot of times that I watched this with people around me, again and again with my mom. It came on the FX channel all the time. We rented it a lot, and seeing it in the theaters really puts this soft spot in my heart for this movie that I will always appreciate it no matter what. However, I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I went ahead and rewatched it about, I want to say 3.5 weeks ago, something like that. And I really saw a lot of flaws in it this time around. But then this whole review series started off. I originally was only going to review this movie, but then I saw the other two original films were actually up on Freevee and IMDb and Tubi and whatever, free to watch, wherever they were, I don't remember, but IMDb advertised them as free to watch in a couple of places, and I went and checked them out, and I decided to review all of the movies back to back for you guys. So this movie right here, again, this review might seem a lot higher in rating than what you think it deserves. That's mainly because of my love for it and all of these memories I have attached to it too, for a film that's really kind of generic and really not that great to begin with. Just wanted to make sure you understood where I was coming from up front. But this movie, this remake has a lot of great stuff about it. It really does. It has a lot of kind of meandering stuff about it, a lot of weird choices, like Katie Cassidy being in a side role rather than the main character role, which I think she would have been better at, even though the main chick is good in this movie too. But then you have even behind the camera stuff, like Simon West, the director of Con Air, made this movie. He's the director of it, which was kind of wild. The writer of the Hitcher remake from 2000, I think 7 or 8, I think it was 2007, the year after this, he wrote this, which was kind of wild, because I remember liking that film too. I saw that in theaters, and I've never seen the originals of that. I really think that Simon West brought a lot to this film and made it better than it actually should have been. This movie made a great, bold choice. It actually takes the first 20 minutes, which are really the only thing anybody likes about the original movie, and made that the entire runtime of this film from beginning to end. It's the babysitter versus the stalker, and that's a great idea in my opinion. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you just stumbled across this review, you've never seen the original films, don't worry, I'm going to talk about the story now. Basically, we follow a young girl in high school who is a babysitter, and she decides to take up this one job. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's a beautiful house for the setting of this movie. And she's taking care of a couple of 6 kids for a rich family. And the family leave, the parents leave, whatever. And the kids are upstairs. She's told not to really check on them, not to open up the door or bother them or anything. They're really sick, apparently. The flu or something, I guess. And she's just kind of hanging around the house. This is a beautiful house, glass walls. It kind of reminds me of the remake of 13 Ghosts from the 90s or 2000s, whatever year that was. And as she's wandering around, she starts to get these weird phone calls on her Razr cell phone, her Motorola Razr cell phone. Same one from right here. Who didn't have a Razr back in the day, dude? Razr phones kicked ass. I wish we could get them back if we didn't have all these spoiled, rotten apps on our phone that really made your life a lot easier. I would love to have a Motorola Razr again. I'll be honest with you. They were great phones, dude. They were durable as hell. I can't tell you how many times I've had mine get dropped or get picked up by a dog and the teeth not tear into that phone. Great phones. Anyway, so she starts to get these creepy calls, and they're actually from Lance Henriksen. Yes, from Pumpkinhead fame. It's his voice, but he doesn't play the actual stranger stalker that happens to break into the house and stalk this young lady and the kids. He's just doing the voice on the phone, and he is creepy. The phone calls are so weird. And again, it plays off this urban legend that the original movie spawned off back in '79 and scared the hell out of babysitters, even despite the fact that that movie was more of a ripoff of Halloween, as I said in my reviews over and over again. This movie really gets it down right about taking that first 20 minutes of the original film that was actually good, the really creepy part of that movie, and actually make it the full film. You don't know where this stalker might be. You don't know where this creep, this stranger, whatever you want to call him, might be. Is he in the house? Is he not in the house? If you've seen the film, the old film, you can probably guess which one it is. But let me tell you, it's creepy. This film has its creepier films, or creepier moments, despite it being kind of a lackluster, again, kind of generic movie. It's well shot, and the house, again, is beautiful to just film this whole story in. I really dig it, and I really think it adds kind of a nice atmosphere to this film that really gives it something to stand out with. You can show people just different shots from this movie, and they'll know by a thumbnail on a video or anything where it's from. If they were around at that time, they will know where it's from more than likely because of how unique this movie looked at its time. People don't remember that a lot of the time about this film. It's not wonderfully written. I don't really like the main character, or really any of the characters. There's not many in the film. But the performances are fine, I guess. Katie Cassidy is okay. The main chick is okay. Lance Henriksen is the best thing about the film with his voice on the phone. How unique the way they go about his character is. I really like that. And that's really all I have to say about the film. There's not much to it, not really much of music. It's not really a gory film. There's no blood or anything really in it. It's just kind of trying to creep you out with a break-in story, and I like that. And again, back in the day, this really worked for me, just like The Strangers did 2 years later. If you've ever seen that, it's one of the best horror films ever made. The Strangers was terrifying. But this film has really good moments in it, but it's kind of weak. It kind of, again, has this generic nature to it that it can't escape no matter what it does, and that's a shame because they made the right choice of making that first 20 minutes of the original film the full movie, and I think that was a good idea. They made right choices. It just didn't work out the best, personally. But anyway, I love this in a lot of nostalgic ways, but I do think overall trying to ignore that, which is almost impossible for me because of how many times I've seen this film on FX channel and so on over the years, in hindsight, having a break from this film for so long, it's got flaws. It's got big old flaws, but it's still decent. If you want a good date night movie to watch, your wife or whoever likes some creepy films or thriller movies, this is very much not a bloody film or anything. It's got some good moments in it, and I think you guys will have a good time. Just turn out the lights, sit in a dark room, and watch it. I think you'll have a blast with it, for the most part. But it ain't great. Like I said, not great characters or anything like that. Not great super iconic moments, aside from super iconic shots, but not iconic moments, scenes, whatever. It might depend on who you are. But anyway, when it comes to the 2006 remake of When a Stranger Calls, if I had to rate this film on a 5-star basis, I'd probably give it a pretty high 3 out of 5 stars for me. I think it's decent. I think it's a good recommendation for people who are kind of new to horror. It kind of felt like a teen horror movie back when it came out. But it was cool, and I've always liked it quite a bit. I think it's a pretty solid film, and personally, I think it's the best of the whole series. But that's what I will say next, is that I do have a ranking video, because I forgot to announce this in the first review, because I was just kind of scatterbrained, just like I am today. I still think I'm catching a cold of some sort. I'm going to go ahead and rank these movies from worst to best in the next video right after this, so hopefully you tune in for that as well. I don't know if I'm going to upload that today with this review and the previous review. It might be tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. Kind of depends on what time allows before I go to work. But anyway, When a Stranger Calls 2006, what do you guys think about it? I hope you like it. If you don't, I'd love to hear why down in the comment section down below. What did you think about my review too? And tune in for that ranking video next. Like I said, I hope you'll enjoy that as well. I'm going to say some controversial things there probably. Maybe not if you've been watching the reviews, but anyway. So, what do you think about it? Put your thoughts and comments down below. Thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all, and goodbye.